and gentlemen, yes, we are just gonna revise very briefly with the concerns to few feedbacks. Quickly to begin with, of course, myself, this is me, of course, Wayne. And in overview, we talk of the 3 million subscribers, or the basic employees we have, or the people have, all the subscribers, all our audience, all the world starters. And then those subscribers, of course, they have the debts, and those debts how to write them off. That is roughly 10 trillion dollars. And then the placement cost for the 3 million employees, or 3 million subscribers across the world. If that is bank ensure, of course, yes, we respond and clear of we use the discounts at the international market price. Of course, our agents helping to the tech rates, of course, and who is the boss? Of course, we yesterday's and last night we received a message and a concern. Of course, the concerns, of course, told us who is the boss, and then when it comes to the business access, who is the boss when it comes to business access, and then also what is education, of course, in our answer and in our areas of feedbacks and management. So we respond yes, that could be the talents and the areas of management as one of the priorities. When two people, of course, have two opinions, no business name were called, elderly they are called, and then that when we talk of two people and two business, of course, let's say this is the Sudan, let's say this is the Dingas enforcements within the source, creations of new borders and creations of new countries there, which is effect, we don't know it, right? So what is required there in our privilege, in our awareness as a Sudanese, what is required there? Protecting the borders, and then of course, sealing that areas which they call it portionally to be developed to wherever they come from and to their origins base. That's why we said if this one, when two people have two opinions and no business names were called, or business names may be called. That's why yesterday we had two. But on overview, the other friend of mine was enforced by the other parties to coordinate the other areas, and then that's why myself I'm coordinating Sudan. We have two business, right? That's two business. So Uganda, Kenya is basically, if he failed to use Sudan promo code, or the Dingas promo code, country promo codes, and then he failed. What is the two business opinions there we have? Yeah, he has Ethiopia. So I have Kenya, Uganda for that regions. That's why we are two business opinions. That's why we cannot call for that particular name. But once he goes there, he called his names as he was doing the business. That's their promo codes, and these my promo codes. What is required is this one. We use the real opinion, two people opinions. That's two people opinions or more people opinions, and then both work here. So that is what we know, and then we know our origins and nations based status, or less let's Arabic defense. Defend acts. That's what we said, and we talk in Arabic, of course. And on overview, we called a preference in terms of audition, self-directories and translations. That is Arabic, of course. And then make your Arabics count, and stand for our forgotten nations in Equatorial Sudan regions, to Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, as implementarily. That is overview. We did a quick start and overview to that areas that we, of course, with our sins is mandatory to be, if we are really to be the people there, to use that mandatory promo code Sudan. So that's why we are all made for purpose, and we're using all the promo code Sudan for that purposes. So as you know, we talk of this one, we talk of areas of our inventories, and that is inventories. Of course, inventories, these are what we call our business, of course, business inventories. And then if we talk of inventories, this is the box, inventory box, right? So let's say this is the window tent, okay, window tent inventories, and then that is the window tent inventories. And if you look there, that is the to do with the window tent, right? So window tent is basically 500 of them, right? That is 500 of these orders. Of course, that is the window envelopes. Of course, you know, window envelopes. Why people use envelope? People use normally envelope to send a letter to other countries, or to mail the recipients, right? So they use it to mail the recipients. So that is the what envelopes, right? So envelopes. So we are tackling what we call envelopes, right? So basically that is to do with the envelopes. So the business like is like inventories is like stocks, business stocks. So that is the to do with the what we call labeling. So when we intend, we forget labeling and then what are required. We have to, of course, find the solutions. We come with the suggestions. Suggestions are basically to what we call addition here. This is let's say this is a nations. How to protect the nation's institution. We silt our nation here, insert, and then we give it where that is providing normally accurate information. So whatever that is the truth is, they're also providing the truth information. But to me, that is a fault, because he's not the guy. Who is the guy there? We know if it comes to politics, we know exactly which guy we are really challenging, and then we want the guy to reform and then give back that land as a Sudan. Which guy is there we're challenging? So it doesn't mean to us. We are here idols. But whatever I play politics roles, that's my politics. If he also does politics role playments, he plays alongside that they know and where they normally chill, you know. So I really have no idea. That is to do with what we call, of course, writing pets system when it comes to cases with what we basically call inventories, right? So these are what we call these are the folders called labels, right? This is a labels. It is a label. What is a label? Naturally, that is to do also envelopes, right? You do packaging things and the other things, right? That is what we do basic things, yeah. And those basic things normally have a wide varieties of areas. So if you look, especially these are all the kind of our envelopes, right? These are kind of our envelopes, infos, right? We deal with the envelopes and the labelings. So for instance, let's say if my promo code is Sudan, and then I want fear, right? This is because this is my labels, and then I put the promo code Sudan for my labels. That is normally what I do for a living. So you know, because if that is my reputations. If the other individual is also affected by such individuals, by such thoughts, and then what is required, there could be reformations is there, renewal is there. Yeah, we are renewing exactly what is required and what is needed. When it comes to this one, of course, employments, samples of employments. This is a sample of employment. Pay to the order of is always there. Pay to the order of is always there. So we do normal what we call pay to the order of is the same thing. It's like receipts. This is the receipts. The receipts infos we get from these kind of things. Okay, receipts, infos. from you name it, from our printers. This is receipts. The receipts normally goes with the other this one, other this one. That is all basically things which we know. Of course, they're always helping basically on those areas. So that's what they normally do and normally provide. So what is required there could be the solutions to this one, to printing levels. Yeah, we do the printings, and then we normally do what we call the sealings, and then we sealed, and then we also label, and the label normally how the normal label goes as is like a nations we are staying at. So that is a nation protections labels which we are using normally. So that is the opinion of people. How the opinions normal count is very important. That's why we are social, and then we are normally people for people. Then that's what we normally do there most of the times, and basically all the times. So when it comes to resolutions to those areas, of course, that is a quick review we did there. We reviewed the content, there are few contents to what we did the day before yesterday and the day before yesterday, yes. So we read for you the infos. That is Thursday and Wednesday. So we give you quick infos on those, and then how the things goes and how they went. So that is quite overview of those reviews, and then we bring them to assessments. And then if others could be maybe the related orders, of course, that is what we may say it, if you prefer, and then that could be our ideal tradition, future response and feedbacks towards those kind of messy areas. Of course, if a guy doesn't know who is the boss, so we say, yeah, it could be the education is the boss. So in our feedbacks, too simple. And then if what is education, so then we say that could be the areas of management or the talent level an individual have to answer your question. If whatever your question is very good one, we answer the contribution. We cook, people normally cook their mind quickly to answer, which is providing a handshake, either which is giving them a back fake copy to their face, either boxing way, either which one you name it, and which can cause a cry, and which one you know. So that's the provisions of all those. Either if it's an insult, all the same things. That is the overview of those messy areas. If it's advantages, if it's disadvantages, that is the overview of those. Otherwise, that is the least we know is areas that people have a dilemmas on, because if myself I was totally tortured by an individuals repeatedly, that is overbullying. So if you overbulled, and then yeah, I said this is the areas of management and then areas of talents. Does those really count to resolve that kind of heavy burdens over accusations and over mismanagements? You know, if you over accuse and certain individuals, and then that is over wasting and over uselessness. You know, you are fooling your nations. So what is required there could be the best reputations, of course, dealings where you can get a clue, and then you switch the way you manage, you know. But unless you are built for that particular capacities, and then you have your capacities, that is your capacities, and then unless you see all these one is non-national matters, and doesn't even help Canada, doesn't even help be part of USA, even doesn't switch to another countries, or switch to Korea, either switch to Nigeria, either switch to Kenya, either doesn't work in the Sudan, you know. And then you may say, yeah, the guy is very offensive. Finish for me this guy till to the death, you know. That is your behavior, your own deals. Shall that be my problems? I have really no idea, no clue with that. So on overview and on occasions, our do and our reputation is to ensure, yeah, one thing we recognize, this is our nations. 2 things we recognize this is our people. 3 things we recognize this is our food, which we are normally eating. You know, the 4th we remember this is our prayer to get sleeping done, and then to get things copyright. That is all we do for living. So 5 mind and 5 heads. That's what we put forward. 5 heads thinking on it. That is all among 5 heads. If you expect your head is among these 5, shall that be the resolution? Shall this be the feedbacks for you? You know, you quit there, and then you join the way that you're tackling another way, so that you ease my tensions, and then I ease also your tensions, and then the other one ease also the other person's intentions. Otherwise, the tension is good, is growing, and then the military number is also growing, and then you know this is the other person is running a coup. If they say yeah, we say like this, they are a little bit defeated. The best is this one. They say they say the military, and then they have to confuse this one, and then they say yeah, this one get taken over, overthrown, and then this one is the commander general become the president, and then they like a coup in Guinea. How shall that be possible to a human being? So what is required in the political manner, in what is required in the environments of the society or nations, require areas that can back you up as a normal person. Tomorrow the people may like you without getting the other one getting you more isolated. When it comes to this one now, the business to business, you expect you defeat, it's good. But when it comes to face, and then that in the future business, and then you may find you're gonna turn here, the other one's gonna turn here, and then you're gonna be facing right. So the obstacle you don't know there, I don't know there, they don't know there, but this is our beating all around the nation's defense system. So if you find it's good, that is good. You find it's not good, that is not good, but it's still here. You're still here. That is the champers of the politics. So that is a 5 heads down there. So why shall that be the 1? Why shall that be the 4? Why shall that be you are the other one switching over the other end down there? Of course, in the other dilemmas, we also said in a village, you found that the other guy is 18 years old. He's in the secondary schools, or he is in college or universities, and then now the father is there, the mother is there, the other brothers they're there, the elderly ones, and then the other one is there. But now the guy have to switch with their party groups. They own their peers, right? This is to do with the 5 peers down there. These 5 peers, which guy is the boss there, which they have to dodge away, that they should not know that this money come from the other one, and then have to dodge away first, and then without getting that one bothered very much, because this guy who tend to be switching much could be the boss of all that areas there, but they switched because they want a peace of mind more, so that they retained that bossship within them, so that these other 4 cannot catch them. But at least that's their tactics down there. So why shall I bother? Why shall the other one bother? That is the overview, So they switch 1 shadow, they switch 2 shadows, they switch 3 shadows. That's 4 shadows to do with over 10 shadows to distinguish that dilemmas, so that they get more peace of mind. But now, at last, and then the continuation continues. What we expect is required. They have to build very far away, the peace of mind. They build another shadow very far away. They goes very far away. They are getting maybe peace of mind. Whether there is no peace of mind, but they still catch them. Could be. That could be the dilemmas, So those be the problems. How is my obstacle? Maybe now I build a shadow, a guy is there cornering me, and then like this, the same dilemmas we are having, so that I want to retain my boss seat, and then he want to dilemma me, because they are after what? That is 5,000. This one here, what all these others want, of course, more than 5,000. This is a paper of office. Do you expect I'm gonna waste my time here for 1,000 a month? No. This is all office representations. That is a lot of corruption, of course. If I whatever I voice myself this much, there I still get another dilemmas, and then yeah, because you are an obstacle, because you are after my 5,000, you want all those money down there, but you will exchange it with this kind of a letter. You tear pieces of a paper and then you throw it to me, and then you're gonna say, yeah, I want this much information from you, as if you are helping. That is not a help, because you are after bothering. You want to bother me so that I can quit, recognizing that you retained the 5,000, and then it won't be paid to me, and then so that as if I get this one, as if this order you mailed is this one, is like a war for me, right? It's gonna get me fired as if, and then as if you are the boss, and then you come and you retain it as if you cool it. So that is all the worst and worst and worst scenarios. But we are just trying our best to get a peace of mind. That's all we do, and then to get what is required and what is not required. Otherwise, that is the overview of advantages and disadvantages. If it comes to that scenarios, of course, it's me, Wayne Hassan, as is it on.